Good morning, Calvary, and welcome to our weekly Wednesday Live. My name is Amy Anthony, and I'm on staff here at Calvary, and I do missions and outreach. And today I have a guest with me, and this is Gillian Ferguson.
Hello.
And Gillian Ferguson is the ministry leader for one of our ministries called Hearty Meals. And so today we're going to tell you a little bit more about that ministry. But before I do, Gillian, how long have you been at Calvary?
We have been at Calvary about 13 years, my husband Mike and I.
All right. And then how many kiddos?
We have two. Gabe just turned 7 yesterday, born and raised here at Calvary. And Ellie as well. She's 4, sometimes 14, but often 4.
And I've known Gillian since before she was married.
It's true.
Long time.
Long time.
Good friends. So Gillian has been involved with Hearty Meals for quite a while. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of what Hearty Meals is and how that ministry helps people in our church, why don't you tell me a little bit about how long you've been helping with Hearty Meals and what first drew you to that ministry in the first place?
Yeah, absolutely. I have been with Hearty Meals, I'm guessing about 10 years. I was, first of all, making meals and then got a call from Amy one day. I think I was out in the garden working, and she said, what about helping out and leading Hearty Meals? And so there's usually a couple of us that are the leads, and I love to cook and I love to bake, and I think it's absolutely wonderful to be able to share that with other people. And so I joined the ministry team and have probably been cooking, 2, 3, 4 meals a month to be able to serve to others.
I was going to say, you've probably set up hundreds of meals to get sent out over the last 10 years. So it's a wonderful ministry, and we are looking for more volunteers right now. So hopefully as you are watching this, you can be thinking about and praying about, would this be a great place for me to fit in? Because we have had a lot of needs lately. So let's get into what Hearty Meals is all about. So first of all, it's called Hearty Meals, which is kind of a play on words because it's like, ooh, a hearty meal, but also a hearty meal. And it is a way that we just want to show love in action, right? And love the people. So tell me a bit about who receives the meals. Are these for meals, people in our church, in our community, both? How do we decide who's getting a meal?
Sure. While we have served others outside of Calvary, most of the time it's people inside of Calvary, our families here. So perhaps you have been blessed and you have a little one at home that whenever you brought that little one home from the hospital, or you fostered, or you've adopted, or maybe you even had a surgery or just were trying to recover from a hard time, you had individuals from Calvary bring you dinners. So typically we serve individuals about a half a dozen meals in their meal train. And it's a huge blessing for them not to have to think about what's for dinner when they have 2 or 3 kids at home and they just brought home a baby, or they maybe had a hip replacement or something else is going on in their lives where it's a blessing to them and it's a blessing to their caregiver not to have to think about what's for dinner for a few nights.
Yeah. So most of the meals go to the families in our church. We do have a couple like special things every year where we'll get the Hearty Meals team together, make a bunch of freezer meals, and we've blessed frontline workers and adoptive parents, different things like that over the year. But typically families in our church, which I want to let you know that if you are like, oh, I could really use some meals, do not be embarrassed to reach out. Or if you know someone who could use some meals, we actually have a form. We're going to be sharing links in the comments, but on the info hub at yourcalvary.info/Hearty Meals, there's actually a form that you can fill out saying, here's someone I know who could use some meals. So we try to do our best to keep track of like, who do we think needs some meals, but if you know someone or you are that person, please ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're happy to serve, just sometimes we don't know where the needs are.
And we've had, with just the large amount of people with COVID or just not feeling well, we've been able to bless a lot of people because our ministry members, like the only time that we're really together as a whole is when we get to do freezer meals prep, and that's usually on Servanthood Sundays or kind of an off day that we want to pull together and bring some meals together and place them in the freezer. So it's really nice when you find out somebody's not feeling well to be able to go pull one of those from the freezer, and right now I think we have a couple of dozen. So we definitely want to bless those in our church. And those meals too can be used if you have a friend, church or unchurched, and you want to be able to take it to them. We want to be able to love on those in our community too.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can use that link. All right, let's talk about how do I get on the team, and then once I'm on the team, what's expected. So Gillian said she loves to cook and bake. I hate to cook, and I'm okay with baking, but I'm on the team. So you don't have to love cooking to be on the team, but why don't you tell us a little bit about if someone wants to join the team, how do they let you know? And then what are the expectations once they join? How would they know who am I bringing a meal to?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can definitely let somebody on staff know, let Amy know, or fill out that form on the info hub. And what will happen is we'll send you an email and we'll just share with you what it kind of looks like. So you'll receive a email from takethemamameal.com is the website that we use, and we'll share the individual's family name, their address, their telephone number, if they have any allergies, restrictions, and then from there you'll see that maybe there's like 6 to 10 dates that are available, and so you can go in and you can pick, okay, this is the best one for myself or my family to be able to deliver that meal. At that point, you can check in with the person that you're going to bring that meal. If it said, I'll be there between 5 and 6:30, you can say, I'm going to be there closer to 6 or 6:30, and go ahead and take them whatever you'd like. Sometimes people will tell us, my kids really don't like casseroles, and so we want to be able to bless them and bless them in full, so maybe they would like spaghetti and meatballs or something like that. You can do pizza delivery if you want to do pizza delivery. That's perfectly fine. And
I can do that.
Most of the kids love that as well. And the really fun thing about it is most people will say, oh, hey, so-and-so sent me a meal and I'm really interested in that recipe because my family loved it. So that's kind of nice to share the recipes too. But so you would get the email and you would be able to go in and sign up from there. And at that point, then you'll get a reminder the day before saying this is who you're taking the meal to and what their address is again. And then you just deliver the meal and you become a huge blessing to somebody who doesn't have to think about what's for dinner that night.
Yeah. So I know I've been on the team for several years. Part of the reason that I joined is because in the last 5 years, I've had, I think, 2 different times because of some surgeries and medical treatments that I received meals with my family. And it was such a blessing to us. I was tired. I was trying to recuperate. And people would bring these wonderful meals, which my family got a little spoiled because I'm not really like the best in the kitchen. So they were like, can you have surgery again? And I'm like,
fall and break
no.
that foot again.
I know.
So
They're like, how can we get this going on a regular basis? But one of the first meals that I ever had was a Mexican lasagna that Gillian actually brought to me. And it was so good that I asked for the recipe. I learned how to make it. And now when I bring people meals, it's kind of my go-to.
Comes
so
full circle.
When I get the email, I look at the meal train and I'm like, has Gillian signed up for Mexican lasagna yet? Because if not, I get on there before she does. So I only probably do 4 to 5 meals a year, honestly, because I'm pretty busy. It's not really my favorite thing. I've got other ministries that are more a good fit for me, but I know there's some ladies who are doing like a meal a week. So it's really up to your schedule and your what you're able to do. So there's no pressure to sign up every time. You can get the email, and if it's not a good time for you, you can just pass on that one, or if it is, you can get on and sign up. So what if I'm a person who loves to cook, would be happy to go deliver a meal, but finances are kind of tight and we just can't really afford the groceries, which can be kind of expensive to make and bring a meal, especially if it's a family for 6 or 8 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have the budget here at Calvary for that, so that's not a problem. You just go shopping and pick up all your ingredients and bring us back the receipt. I can take it, Amy can take it, Amy Kate can take it in the office, and just do what you would normally do and just love on that person with the resources that Calvary and our members have been able to provide us. We also have those freezer meals that I talked about, so maybe you could pull together some fruit or some cookies, and then from there take one of the freezer meals and still continue to bless those people.
Yeah. So we're flexible. So like if you love to cook but you don't have a way to transport it, we can try to work with that. We can tag team. So I know we really do need new volunteers on this team. We've got some ladies and some men who have been doing this for years. But of course, as people move away or different things like that, we just need to be building on that team because there is such a need, and it just makes such a huge difference. We hear all the time from people who've received meals what a huge difference it was. We've even been able to bring meals to someone who came to the church twice, and then we found out about something they needed, and they were just blown away that even though they weren't members of the church, they receive these meals. So I would really encourage you to go on the Info Hub, go to the Hearty Meals page, read more about what is involved. And if you're interested, reach out to Gillian. We'll put her information in the comments, and then we can get you onto the team. And again, if you know people who could use a meal, or you yourself could use some meals coming up,
Please let us know.
just let us know. We would be happy to do that. So thank you so much, and thank you for running this ministry, and also for that amazing Mexican lasagna.
You bet. And thanks to all the volunteers, because like Amy said, we have some who sign up almost every meal train, and we have some who pop in once a month or every 2 to 3 times a year. And I'm just really, really thankful for those women and those men that are able to serve and to love on our community.
All right, have a great day.